Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great getting ready for snow day, taking down your Christmas decorations. I'm having a little pajama day here and coloring, as always. Um, Getting some things ready for when I am featured artist in April at Eastside Gallery, and it's also going to be the year of the tiger. So we have our tigers coming in. I work primarily in colored pencil, and so my work takes a long time. This one in particular has taken years because I've fussed with it and I've drawn it over and over, and I'm finally getting my deer where I want it to be. So I have the deer and the peacock to finish. This one will be up in April. It's called The Deer Rider, and actually came from a dream I had of my daughter riding a deer and holding a peacock. Don't really know why, but as I draw it, things are sort of added to the story. Colored pencil takes a long time, so a lot of my work has stories in it. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll learn more about the technique of drawing in colored pencil. But I want to talk and share today some of the work that I am doing and having up in the, excuse me, I'm just pulling up something to share. Some of the work that I have up in 4 galleries right now, but it's so cold out there. I know nobody's going to the galleries. So if I share my screen with you, I can show you what's out there that you might be missing and wish you could go see. At Crestwood Women's Health Center, there is a gallery, wonderful gallery, and it goes all the way around the first floor of the building. And they have shows that change every 3-4 months or so, 4 times a year, so every 3 months. So right now they have a show called Serenity, and the piece that was juried in is called The Roses. It is $14.75 if you're interested, 30% of which goes to the Women's Health Center to help women who pay for their health care who cannot. So it's a good cause as well. This one of a friend, Juliet, and her baby, was inspired, the background and the rose and all that, from a painting called Choosing, which is a famous painting of a red-haired woman. She was an actress and painted by several, painted and pursued by several artists, one of whom was John Singer Sargent, but the one who painted the Choosing one was not. I'm trying to remember who. Oh, I'm so bad with this. Anyway, she is holding a rose and it's called Choosing. This painting, people call colored pencil work painting, and they call pastel work painting. The reason for that, I often say drawing because I feel like I'm drawing. I have a pencil point in my hand and I can get every little hair. But when you have covered the surface, especially covered with the number of layers that I have, technically it is a painting done in colored pencil. So anyway, this is The Roses, which is the name of my picture. Now over at the Delaplane Art Center, Frederick County Art Association has their members show. I have 2 pieces in. This one is called Big Blue Frog. And I just love this girl's swingy hair, and I'm not sure she cares about this frog. She doesn't look like she's going to be kissing it anytime soon. In fact, she may be handing it off to you. And it was a lot of fun to do. I just love her expression and the way the frog and the bracelet and a lot of little details go together. And if you went to summer camp with me, you know the Big Blue Frog song. You would also know I Had a Rooster, which is the title of this picture of this woman with her feeding her rooster. And it was very interesting because this one won first place at the Waterford Fine Art exhibit, and the judge called her sun hat a halo, and I hadn't looked at it that way before. But now that I do, that's a very interesting thing. You know, of course, we do some things purposely as artists. The sunlight pattern is obviously the hat pattern and repeated in her gingham dress and all of that. But then this circular motion, sort of the curve of the rooster's chest and the circle of the hat, you know, you're doing that compositionally and you don't realize that to someone else, this is becoming it has the look of something else, the old art with the halos around the head of people, which is very interesting. He also said, you know, although this is her hand coming in to feed the rooster, he said, I'm not sure. Somebody else could be offering the rooster some food. And I thought, that's interesting because it is very disconnected by the long format that I did. The big blue frog is $9.25 and this one is $11.75 if you're interested. And this little thing reminds me of summer camp or people who live up north on lakes, and it's called Morning Run. It's just $45, 9 by 12 over in at the East Side Gallery, where we are also having a members show. And it's an acrylic on canvas. Just a little thing. Here's another little thing, a rose, which is just $65. Hanging next to it is this rolling sea picture, which is $70. These are often, I do little demo pictures and I'm demonstrating in my teaching videos, and then they just become something that I think, oh, well, somebody may enjoy this on the wall, not just in my class. So there you go. This one had won a prize at the Kensington Labor Day show one year in the, I believe in the portraiture division. I have two pictures up at the east side of my daughter braiding her hair. And this one's called A Few Loose Ends. The other one's called Contemplation. You will say it's misspelled, but plaiting or plaiting your hair is Plait. So contemplation is spelled that way. A Few Loose Ends is $135 and it's in graphite, and it is about 10 by 13, I think. This one is a 16 by 20 or so picture, done completely in colored pencil. I may have gotten creative with a couple snowflakes, but it's a little girl. She looks a little pissed off that it's snowing with her bouquet of flowers, because that's what happens when everything starts to bloom and then you get one more snow. This one's called Spring Snow. Very fun to do. I did it on the red paper that is the color of the trees when they start to bud and they're red. So everything else is colored, the snow and everything, but the red burst of life is coming through in there. And then it kind of informs the rest of it because you start to see it through. Colored pencils are semi-transparent. Sometimes I like to put some pieces at a special price. So this one's just $500, as well as this one, which is called Tammy Princess Movie Star. The background of this one, you know how little girls make hairstyles and put every clip in and wear their little plastic jewelry and play dress ups. But the background I chose from a photo shoot of Audrey Hepburn done during the filming of Breakfast at Tiffany's. And the vanity is actually sort of the shape of a vanity that was in my daughter's room when she was little. So, and there's some things back there on the ledge that were also, you can barely see them, but you know, when you're filling a background and you want it colorful and bright and to go with the person in the foreground, you choose things that are around you. Oh, I know. Yeah, see, she had a lamp. This was the base, and up here was like those shell discs pieces hanging all around the lamp which kind of went with the other sort of bouquet photography effect. The next one is in graphite. It's also, all of these are at the East Side Gallery. It's $12.75. It's called The Happy Place. And it's very, let me talk about this one a little bit. I had done it as an imaginary, those fun events for kids and everything, but I made one up to go with the Noyes Children's Library in Kensington that everybody calls No Yes, because this is how they have the little hippie lettering here and the owl up there. And it's just a happy, fun place for kids. It's a library completely devoted to children. So I made like an event happening. This little girl, however, I took from a photograph my sister had taken, went on a Party with the Gypsies tour of Romania. And this little girl was so happy. And what she was originally clutching in her hands was oranges. And she was so happy with her oranges. So in a sense, I took this happy little child and gave her balloons and put her in another place. But really, whichever place she was in the happy place. And so was I, because this was taken from a picture of me when I was younger, and I used to dress up with kind of the Pierrot clown face on and hand out balloons to children at the 4th of July. Our street actually used to have a 4th of July parade, which became the Chevy Chase Section 5 4th of July parade. I think they still do it. And this little child was just sort of clinging to my waist and looking up at the balloons. And so I'm in the picture as well. So all of it is just like I usually do, almost a collage composition of places, whether you know them or not. This piece went on to win a prize at a show where it had nothing to do with Kensington. Although it did get a ribbon at Kensington as well, just because someone likes the picture. So you don't have to know all this, but if it adds to it, I'm adding some of my stories because my pieces do take so long. They usually have quite a few stories. Now, if you go over to the Tag Gallery, oh, excuse me, that one is $14.75, can't remember. Tammy Princess Movie Stars, 500. And over at Tag, which is the name for the Artists Gallery, they were having a juried invitational Best of the Best show for Frederick, inviting artists from other galleries in, and the piece they chose from me was this one called Little Wing. It is $42.75. It is a piece I did of a girl who has some qualities that I can connect with myself, creativity. And anyway, I started to put her in dragon wings. There's no such thing as really cool dragon wings. So you see this bend in them. But on my desk was a picture of some moths. And I know there's some gorgeous moths out there. If you go up north, they're really even more interesting. And the moth had these colors in the wings. So there's kind of this dragon bend to them, but it's moth coloring. And she's wrapped in these probably frail wings. She looks practically unclothed with her handmade scarf and hat and little knit gloves in this cold landscape, which is actually the view off the deck of Betty Wiley's house, if you know her, and had lots of fun with the purples and the yellows and the golds in here, and how they all work together. But this sort of stark, vulnerable, only clothed in things you make and colorful, frail things of creativity is sometimes how us artists face the world. So this is, emotionally almost a self-portrait, but also very similar to this person as well. So all of that in there. Love drawing all her rings and all of the knit and little fine. If you zoom in and see, I was showing somebody the other day how to draw knit, and I said, look at these little hairs. And you know what? They were so fun to do. I don't know why I like the little drawing the little hairs better than the little trees, but and I remember that, but it's similar. I guess it's me just because I'm a portrait person. And when I do a colored pencil piece like this, something as smooth as just the sky, there's no place in the sky that's not at least 6 layers deep. So it's layer upon layer. Somebody said, when I dropped this off, the girl at the desk, she said, you must be very patient. And I said, no, I actually do this because I'm very impatient. I don't want to wait for the oil paint to dry. I want to go to the next layer. I want to go to the next layer. But doing it with a little pencil point rather than the broadness of the brush stroke is, I don't want to say tedious. So she said, well, you're either patient or it makes you patient. And I said, that's it. It probably makes me patient because I'm not patient at all. Anyway, if you're interested in any of these pieces, contact me through my website, lisarts.com, lisarts.com. And I'll put you in touch with the gallery that's showing it. Just thought I'd let you see my work because I know nobody's going out in this freezing 18 degrees cold or all the snow and mush that's coming at us now. And so have a happy snow day, pajama day, take down the Christmas tree day, or playoff weekend, whatever you're doing. And see you soon. Thank you for looking at my artwork.